I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was sitting here doing like a self-evaluation of myself and what type of person I am and personality. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I be all over the place. Like when I go to my family and people that knows me, because I do this, I used to do it a lot, but I don't do it that much anymore. But I used to go to all my family and friends, well, family and people that knows me, and I would ask them, describe me to you. Like, tell me how I am. Like, tell me how you would describe me. And every last one of my family members and people that knows me, they say the same exact thing. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, because all of them tell me, like, you are all over the place. Like, we can't say you a bad person. We can't say you're a good person. It's like, when you good, you good. But when you bad, you bad. But you just all, and they say that you just all over the place. Like, you say, now the main thing that they do say about me is that I'm very blunt. I say what I want to say out my mouth. And I do know that I have that trait. And I've been working on it for years. And it's, you know, the sad part is that my son, he's the same way. My son say any fucking thing out of his mouth. He don't give a fuck. And I'll be looking at him like, won't you shut the fuck up? Well, why would you say that? But that's some shit that I would say. And I'm like, this is one of the reasons why I could never beat my kids or whip my kids. Because my kids take after me until when they do something, and if I were to discipline them, I'm like, bitch, you would do the same thing they doing. So my kids take right after me. So me hitting them is like hitting myself. This is why I've never beaten my kids. Because it's like beating myself. Like, you going to beat your child or discipline your child for saying the same shit that you would say. So I just look at it like, why you say that? Like, you know, why would you do that? Say that shit. Like, because I'm basically talking to myself. Like, my kids are basically a reflection of me. And I want y'all to do that. I want y'all to go around people that knows you or people in your family. And I want y'all to ask each and every last one of them to tell you, describe to you who you are or how you are. And when you get finished asking all the people that you want to ask, take the time, like sit down and relax yourself and think about everything that everybody said to you about you. Look at the good, look at the bad, look at the ugly, and think about why you are the way. This is one of the things, one of the exercises that I did during my awakening. And during my awakening, I began to grow into feelings and emotions that I never had before. And I never really took the time to get to know myself. So when I went around and I asked all my family and friends, you know, describe me to you. Describe, you know, tell me what type of person I am to you. And a lot of the things they were saying, I'd be like, I do that? I say that? Like, I don't feel that way. I never. And you get like self-reflection because you know how you are as a person, but then again, you don't. But when you got other people around you that is telling you how you are, you got to remember that you are a different kind of person with different people. You might be a ghetto hood rat with this person because that person bring out that ghetto hood rat in you. You might be quiet and very educated around that person because that person bring out that. But when you look at all the people that you did talk to, you're going to understand what kind of chameleon that you are. You're going to understand the core personality, because out of all the people that you are going to talk to, they're going to say the same thing. The base of you, they're going to say the same thing. They're going to say either you funny, even you caring, you giving, you got a good. They're going to say, all of them going to say the same thing. But all of them got a different piece of you. And you take those pieces that they said about you and you self-reflect. And then that's when you is going to get a better idea of who you are. And then you're going to understand why you are that way. Like, why is I am the way that I am? And this is the time for you to self-reflect and start working on you. And then You can take the negative and then you can take the positive and you can do whatever you want to do with it. You can make yourself better, or you can continue to live. And one thing that I learned during my awakening is that I was very misunderstood. And the reason why I was very misunderstood throughout my whole life is because who I am as a being, who I am as a woman, who I am to the core is not what I present out. And I learned that about myself when I did that exercise. Like, because when everybody was telling me how I am, that is how I am. But something they were saying, I'm like, damn, it's like that. But when I thought about myself, right, the core, the essence of me is not really like that. And all of my life, I have been putting up this dominating masculine energy because I was hiding the feminine, sensitive, vulnerable parts of me. Because I didn't want people to get attached to that part. Because I know how, I never knew. And it's funny because I never knew how I could be. If I embraced my feminine, my vulnerability, if I embraced that side, I never know exactly how I'm going to be. What type of personality I'm at. Because I have never shown that. Throughout my whole life, I've always been strong. I've always been masculine and dominating. In all of my relationships, I've always having to be that way. And when I finally let all of that go with my ex-boyfriend, he was the first person that I ever let that guard down. He actually seen the feminine. He seen the vulnerability in me. And I believe this is the reason why it is so hard. It's not hard, but it's harder for me to shake him off more than every other ex that I've been with. Because every other ex that I've been with, they always seen that masculine in me. So it was like, fuck you, you gone by. And within a week, I don't even think about that person no more. I probably have little bittersweet memory, but I don't want you, fuck you. But with this ex, he got to see that sensitive, that feminine, that vulnerable side of me. And the fact that he didn't know how to treat it when I embraced it to him, now that I have that wall up, it's like that part of me is still there. And it's taken me a little longer to get over him than any other ex, because that feelings and emotion that I have in me is still there towards him. It's not that I'm in love with him. It's not that I knew that we were meant to be together. It's just that when you embrace your feminine side, when you embrace that vulnerability, it puts you in a newfound emotion that you didn't know you had. And being with him, I had put myself in emotions and feelings that I didn't even know I could feel that way. And now that we are not together, I have to figure out how to deal with those kinds of emotions. And I have to seal those emotions back up. And now that I've learned, because I realized that he was just a lesson, I've realized being with him that the sensitive side that I do have in me, the vulnerability and the feminine side that I have in me, it is only meant for people that is truly worthy of it. And I would never show that side again unless that person shows me that they are worthy. I'm not saying you got to work your ass off for it. But now that I know what kind of life that I want, what kind of people, places, and things that I want to be around, once I get in those environments and be around those people, then I can embrace that feminine vulnerability side. I guess that's what it means in the Bible when they say you find a wife, you find a good thing. Because when you get involved with a woman and she's a godly woman, she is going to show you that feminine. She's going to show you that vulnerability. And you as a man with that masculine, it would equal if y'all know each other spiritually. And where I fucked up is that I gave my vulnerability and my feminine to a man that didn't even know how to work his masculine with my feminine. And the fact that I did that, I now know, like, every day is a lesson. Like this election, what's going on in life is a lesson, is an experience. He was a lesson and he was an experience. So right now we are going through a test to show the universe what have we learned through this experience. And a lot of us is going to pass this test and a lot of us is going to lose. Because experience, you got to go through something to show you what you have learned. You know, you can't be a superhero. You got to be born to be it. You ain't gonna just be born that way. You got to grow to be that superhero.